Welcome and thanks for joining me for this Barefoot Morning Letter Explainer. We're going to dive into a pretty huge idea today. What if the cure for some of our most serious health issues is literally right under our feet?
Yeah, I know it sounds almost too simple to be true, right? But the idea we're digging into today is that this totally natural, totally free act could be the answer we've all been looking for. So let's see what the science actually has to say about it.
Okay, so before we get to the cure, we've got to understand the problem. And it's a big one. It's this hidden enemy that researchers now believe is the real root cause of so many illnesses. It's something that's quietly wreaking havoc inside our bodies, from the inside out.
And that enemy? It's chronic inflammation. It's not just a buzzword. Scientists now see it as the fundamental trigger for more than 80, you heard that right, 80, different chronic diseases. Just let that number sink in for a second. It's just staggering.
And look, we're not talking about minor aches and pains here. The list is it's a who's who of the scariest diseases out there. Cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes. The research is becoming so clear, pointing back to this one single root cause for all of them.
So what is this silent fire burning inside us? And how did we finally figure out just how dangerous it really is? Well, the story of how science cracked this case is pretty amazing.
You know, this wasn't an overnight discovery. Scientists were suspicious for a long time. Way back in 1986, they came up with this really powerful analogy. They said a tumor is like a wound that just won't heal. It's like the body's healing system, which is inflammation, gets turned on, and then the off switch breaks.
But then, theory turned into undeniable fact. This is the really cool part. Groundbreaking research came out of Harvard Medical School, led by Dr. Redker. They found a way to measure a little marker in our blood called HSCRP. Think of it like a smoke detector for that silent fire, for inflammation. And what they found, it was absolutely stunning. In studies with tens of thousands of people, this one little marker was one of the best ways to predict who would get heart and artery disease. This was the smoking gun. This was the proof everyone was looking for.
So, to boil it all down, what does it mean? It means your own defense system, your immune system, gets confused. It's designed to protect you, right? But it malfunctions and starts attacking your own healthy tissues, your own organs. It's like being in a constant state of friendly fire.
Okay, so now we get the problem, this internal fire. So let's talk about the solution. And the best part? It's powerful, it's totally natural, and it is accessible to every single one of us. Because, get this, the cure comes from the earth itself.
So how in the world does this work? Well, the idea is called grounding or earthing. The theory goes like this. Our bodies can build up an excess of what's called positive charge, and that contributes to inflammation. But the earth has this natural negative charge, and it's just packed with something called free electrons. When we make direct contact, through barefoot walking, our bodies can literally absorb those electrons, and they act like the most powerful antioxidants you can imagine, neutralizing that inflammation. It's how we can shift from a state of disease to a state of healing.
Now, the science is fascinating for sure, but what does this actually look like for real people, in the real world? It's the personal stories, the stories of incredible transformation that really bring this whole thing to life.
Okay, so let me tell you about Jung-Soon Oak. She's 77 years old, and her doctors told her she needed a major hip replacement surgery. But instead of going under the knife, she committed herself to barefoot walking. And the result? She says she found her cure. She avoided that surgery completely. How incredible is that?
And then there's Park Book-tro, 75 years old. She was dealing with osteoporosis. Her legs felt weak, and she felt old, She felt like aging was just weighing her down. But through barefoot walking, she got her strength back, her energy, her vitality. It was like she found a whole new lease on life.
These stories are just amazing, right? They show us what's possible. And really, they're an invitation for you to see if this can work for you too. So, let's get practical. How can you start your own journey? Honestly, getting started could not be easier. Just find a safe, natural spot, a park, a trail, even your own backyard. Start slow. Just a few minutes a day is perfect. Then you can build up from there. But here's the most important part, the absolute key. You have to be consistent. This has to be an every single day practice to really get the benefits. Oh, and for total peace of mind, it's always a good idea to just make sure your tetanus vaccination is up to date. Okay, listen up, because this is a really important tip, especially when it gets colder in the winter. After you walk barefoot, you've got to take care of your feet.
Always wash them thoroughly. Dry them completely, I mean really dry. And then lather on a generous amount of moisturizer. This is so crucial to stop your heels from getting all cracked and painful. Don't skip this step.
And really, that's the big takeaway today. The power to heal, the potential to feel better, it might not be in a pill bottle or a prescription pad. It might just be available to you right now for free. It's literally right under your feet. So the only real question left is, are you ready to take that first step towards your own cure?
And hey, you don't have to do this alone. We really encourage you to join the community over at the National Barefoot Walking Movement headquarters on Naver Cafe. It's just a fantastic place to share all kinds of information, get support, and connect with other people who are on this exact same amazing path.
And finally, if you got something out of this explainer today, if it was helpful, it would mean the world to us. If you'd hit that subscribe button, give it a like, and turn on notifications. Your support is seriously what lets us keep making these explainers and sharing powerful ideas just like this one. Thanks so much for being here.